In 1934, Disney produced a very unusual short. The Goddess of Spring was not created to make people laugh, but to test something the studio had previously avoided: the animation of realistic human figures. The short is part of the Silly Symphonies and was directed by Wilfred Jackson. Here, the animators tried to give weight, volume and credibility to a human body in motion, in preparation for a project that at the time seems almost impossible: Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The story is inspired by the Greek myth of Persephone's abduction, reworked in a very free way. In this adaptation, Persephone is identified as the goddess of spring, while Demeter, who in mythology is the true goddess connected to the cycle of the seasons, never appears. Even the figure of Hades is deeply transformed. The god of the underworld is depicted with traits more reminiscent of Satan than the traditional Greek Hades, and the underworld takes on the appearance of the Christian hell, a visual simplification intended to make the conflict immediately understandable to contemporary audiences. Unexpectedly solemn, the short shows the character singing in a lyrical style from beginning to end, structuring the story almost like a miniature animated opera. From a technical point of view, the film clearly reveals the difficulties of the process. The movements of the protagonist often appear stiff or unnaturally elastic, a sign of work still in an experimental phase. But these very exercises will become fundamental study material for later feature films. There is also a little known curiosity linked to the Italian version of the short. The dubbing was done directly in America at Walt Disney's request. In fact, in anticipation of a trip to Europe, he wanted to personally bring the short to Italy and attended the premiere in Rome together with his wife Lillian. Among those present in the theater were Galeazzo Ciano and Edda Mussolini, the Deuce's daughter. The Goddess of Spring is not a perfect short nor one of the most remembered, but it is one of the essential ones. A necessary step full of trial and error, without which Disney could never have reached the place he was aiming for.